few of you have asked if you can make, you know, if you can sew something heavy on there, and of course you can. This is leatherette, which is thicker than the denim I've been sewing on there. So I've got an old pair of jeans which I've cut up to practice with, and it sews through jeans fine. It sews through leather fine, and in fact, here you go. I've made a dog collar. So the stitching has come out really well. You need to practice, so you do need to have a scrap of fabric first to make sure that you get the tension right. Always do that whenever you're doing any sewing project. You do want to balance your stitches. I've managed to sew through 4 layers, and to help me make sure that I get a good line of stitches, I've used a special foot, which is an overcast foot. So have a look online. You can buy selection boxes like chocolates, but it's full of different feet. I didn't need a walking foot. Lots of people might think you might need a walking foot to do this job. You don't. The machine is strong enough, powerful enough. Have a go. Got 2 straps of leatherette here, which is quite thick, a millimetre thick. And it's quite good. I've used it for lots of projects. Got it very, very cheap, so I bought loads of it. I made tool bags for heavy weight wrenches and things like that. So I've got a special foot in the machine right now. I'm going to move the needle over so that I can work with it. It's going to work that way, isn't it? I'm going to have to place that in there that way. And so I can edge this. If I'm making dog collars, let's just make sure. You can't put pins and things like this, unfortunately. And let's see, I'm going to go for a longest stitch on a straight stitch. Let's try this. Oh. So let's have a look what's happened. Now you probably get a lot of that going on sometimes. So if that happens, just wiggle your handle to and fro. Don't try and turn it all the way around, because what's happened is inside the threads have got tangled. So we've done, the tension isn't right. So we need to readjust that tension. This is a scrap piece, just to practice on, so I'm not going to be too upset, because you should always practice with scrap first. Let's get rid of that. Can you see how that top thread is there, but you can see the top thread coming through? What that means is the bottom thread is too tight, the top thread is too loose, so it's managing to make its way all the way down into the bottom. So let's remove that top thread out. Oops. Just come out in one go. Separate that. Okie doke. So when that happens, you need to rethread your machine. Don't assume it's okay. So I'm going to rethread the whole of the machine. And let's thread that up. And again, make sure when you're using the needle threader that your needle's at the highest point, otherwise the hook can't get through the eye of the needle. Okay, so we've rethread the top. We're going to have to rethread the bottom as well, because things get moved out of sync. Okay, so we know that's working fine. That's going through smoothly. Tension is on that thread. And then, there we go. Okay, so we're going to try that again. And this time, because the top tension was too loose, so we're on auto, we're going to tighten it up. We're going to go to 6 again. So we'll reduce the tension to 6. Let's have a look, see what happens. So just marry those 2 pieces up together. place them in. So make sure the hook's at the top. Lift up the press foot. So we've got a beautiful stitch on the front, and I would say that was a beautiful stitch on the back. That's just thread that's got caught up. Tension's a little bit loose over the start, but again, this is a practice piece, so that's okay. Once we know what we're doing, got a bit of a hiccup there. We can maybe, because we can still see the top tension there, the top thread, I might tighten it up to 7, the tension up to 7, and give that a go. So we'll try the other side now. Top, release that, and there we go. Beautiful. Didn't need a walking foot, didn't need anything special. I started from there, and there we go. I think that's just my bad stitching, isn't it? It's because I've got the machine at a funny angle so you can see it and I can't. side, so the stitching works beautifully. You can, if you have the right tools. I didn't need a walking foot. Lots of people might think you might need a walking foot to do this job. You don't. The machine is strong enough, powerful enough. Have a go.